That's what I'm going to do. Okay, we are having some technical difficulties with the live broadcast feed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to a recording at this time, and then we're going to post this as a part two to the earlier part. So Eric, please forgive me. I don't know why the internet is acting a fool at the moment, but guess what? We still gonna get this information out there whether they like it or not. And my fans will
Fantastic.
still get this information. So please pick it up from Sri Lanka and and we'll
Absolutely.
continue on.
So one of the issues, that I was touching on is that you have these pharmaceutical companies that manufacture, produce medications in the U.S., charge us for their R&D, us being the U.S. citizens for the most part, and then send them to places that are like most third world countries, and they can get the exact same medications for pennies on the dollars. What the Affordable Care Act has seen is that, yes, we all knew this was taking place. Why is it that the United States and its citizens pays for the majority of the rest of the world to get the same manufactured medications cheaper in their countries? Now, you can argue one way or the other if you've been to Canada or Mexico or the UK or France. Oh, well, they may have to wait in line. Well, you know what? If you're coming in and you've got a broken finger and someone comes behind you and they're having a heart attack, that's what happens. The person with the heart attack will be seen first. So, I see a lot of this stuff on television. They're like, well, there are these long lines for getting service in Canada. And that is absolutely not true. I know people in almost every country around the world. And yes, if it's a minor issue, you're going to wait. If it's something that is pungent now, they're going to take care of you. So let's just dismiss that. But at the end of the day, what it is you look at Medicare and the Medicare system, and then you take a look at the Affordable Care Act. The Medicare system has been working phenomenally well for years and years and years and years. And the Affordable Care Act is based on the same footprint, if you will. Whereas the federal government will only pay, let's say, for levothyroxine, which is a thyroid medication.
Mm-hmm.
We're only going to pay $2.85 for that drug. And we're going to stagnate the cost of that drug across the board. So when you go to doctors and hospitals, they know that levothyroxine, you're going to probably, as a copay, if you have insurance, pay $0 for that particular drug, or $3 or $5. But that's all they can charge. Whereas if there was not a moratorium on those particular types of drugs, the manufacturers could charge the insurance companies whatever and the hospitals whatever, and the individual, us, would have to pay the difference. So that's what they're trying to curb. So when they say that this will never work with the Affordable Care Act, it's already working.
Mm-hmm.
We're already doing it. And now you have some of these states. Now let's look at the money of that. Each state has the ability to say, we want the Affordable Care Act as it is and the federal government to run it for our state, or we can do it ourselves. And various states do it themselves, but here's what they're missing out on. They, and I'll say like Indiana as an example, they want to control some of the federal dollars coming in. They get it in a one lump sum and disperse it throughout the country. Whereas the federal government will do it on a monthly basis, decreasing the cost. What that means for us is if the federal government is running the system, we have overall better accuracy of our healthcare and accountability of our healthcare at a lower cost. And that's why some of these predominantly Republican states do not want the federal government to run their Affordable Care Act in their state,
Mm-hmm.
or like the state of Arkansas, who has just lost this case, wanted to have a mandate of a work to affordability mandate, which the federal government has, I believe it was 2 weeks ago now, uh, turned down and said, no, you can have a work right for healthcare in that particular state. So if you have the lower income between jobs, whatever the case may be, you can get the Affordable Care Act, and you have a multitude of choices, again, depending on where you live at, to take care of your health. And I can honestly say you will not have it anywhere cheaper than the Affordable Care Act. So that being said, the other piece of that, if you are a self-employed individual, here's a turning point. People don't realize how costly healthcare is. I
Mm-hmm.
often deal with a single individual or a spouse and a child, and just their healthcare costs monthly is anywhere from $1,100 to $1,600 per month just for those two people. So when I hear people say $300 is too much for me or $185 is too much for me, try being a individual paying for it on your
Right.
own to really understand what healthcare costs. Because most of us, we get it through our employer,
Right.
and we may pay $150 to $300 a month for our group plan for our family through our employer. That's because the employer is paying 75, 80, 85% of that cost. You want to know what the cost of healthcare is? Pay for it out of your own
Right.
pocket. Then you'll have a come to Jesus moment, as we call
Yeah.
it.
So now some of those plans that people can go to the Affordable Care Act and look up for, say, individual self-employed person,
Mhm.
would they offer any assistance to help them offset the cost? Because by law, according to the bill or the law, is that you have to have it, otherwise you're going to be taxed at a different rate for not having it.
Well, what happens there is you're going to be
Right.
penalized. It's not that you're going to be taxed at a different rate. You're going to be penalized for not
Okay.
having it. And so the IRS or that insurer, if you have any item from the Affordable Care Act, is going to send you an IRS form at the end of the year. Here's where people are getting caught up at, though. They underestimate their income. And this is a system where you tell us what you think you're going to make for next year, and that's what we're going to charge you or discount the cost of the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
As an example, monthly cost of insurance is $500, but you tell them that you're only making for a family of four, you make $30,000 a year. So $30,000 a year, family of four, puts you at roughly 200% of poverty level. So you're going to get that insurance other than $500. You may get it for $12 or
Mm,
$50 for a family of
okay.
four because the federal government is offsetting the cost of that $500 bill because of your income. However, at the end of the year, that next year, you find out that you made $130,000. Well, they're going to now say, we want a portion of our money back
Right.
because you underestimated your income. The other thing that people get caught up in when they're filling out those forms online, because either one, ignorance, we just didn't know, or two, we're trying to be slick about it, is the form actually states list everyone in your house. If you've got five people in your house, but you're only trying to get insurance for two of those five, as long as there are five people living in that house, you have to list all five, but the insurance is only for two.
Right.
And the mistake that a lot of folks make is that they say, well, I know there's five people living here, but there's only going to be two on the insurance. I'll just list two people in my household. You're doing yourself a disservice because what the system does is it says that even though you have five people and the insurance is for two, you are still responsible, whether it's light, water, gas, food, clothing, whatever it may
Right.
be, for five
Right.
people. So we're giving you a benefit. So be sure to list all five. But what that's actually, again, going to do for you is give you options.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lower economic scale, we need more options. And as we get older, we really need to see more specialists.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where another issue comes in that people don't really talk about. When you have Medicaid, as an example, or you have a lower end insurance, just because it was a low priced insurance, guess what? You risk the issue of a lot of specialists that you need to see not accepting that insurance.
Exactly.
And that's a massive problem that I see a lot of clients going through. They're happy with XYZ plan because they had it when they were younger. Now that they are turning 65 or 60 years old or whatever the case may be, they may see their primary doctor once a year to get their flu shot. But who are they seeing every month? The spine doctor, the arthritis doctor,
Right.
the kidney doctor, the blood disorder doctor, the rheumatoid arthritis doctor. Those are all
Right.
specialists. And guess what? you're going to now pay the difference to see those specialists. So these are some of the things that gives us a little bit more of a level playing field when it comes to healthcare. And the biggest cost of healthcare is the uninsured, because guess what? They're going to wait till the things that they're going through are at its absolute worst, and then they're going to go to the emergency room with no insurance. And who do you think is picking up the cost for that?
Yep, that's exactly right. So a lot of different scenarios, too many to cover. If they want to reach out to you and get information on a personal, individual level, they can go to your website, reach out to you,
Absolutely.
make an appointment. They can bend your ear, get on your nerves, the whole 9 yards, all of those things that go along with, getting help because we don't know, you know, and
Right.
the best thing that anybody can do is understand that these types of things are above your pay grade, and you do need to reach out to somebody who can help you understand what's going on. And and I thank you for sharing this information with us. To let us know that there are answers to the questions. You
Absolutely.
know, and
Absolutely. You
go
know,
ahead.
it's just a sense that, if you do the right thing the first time, you don't have to worry about anything else. And that's kind of how I live my life. It's a matter of character. I can make a whole lot of money elsewhere, but I choose to do this from my heart. And to me, that's what makes a difference. When I see clients that say, you know what, God bless you, because no one ever explained this to me, you know, it is very humbling, and I get a little choked up as a big black guy, right? But I get a little choked up because, you know, I would want someone to take care of my mom. I
Right.
would want someone to take care of my dad or my uncle or my aunt, just like I do. And if enough of us do the right things enough times, we'll all be taken care of. And that's just how I feel
There
about
you
life.
go. Now, I got a question. You were talking about all the
Sure.
places that you went all around the world. I remember at one particular time, I can't remember how long ago it was that I ran across this information. There were people that had specialty conditions, and they would
Mhm.
travel to different countries, and they would call it like a medical tour. And they would go to these places, put themselves in a hotel, have a procedure, stay there until they were, stable enough to be able to return back to their country of origin. Now, do they still do that? You know?
Yes, it's called Doctors Without
Okay.
Borders. And these are volunteer doctors, nurses, specialists, whatever, from various parts of the States and the UK. And typically, where they're going is these third world countries. Here in the US, especially Great Britain, Germany, we are extremely spoiled because if we want to get a latte, we just go 3, 4 blocks from the house. If we need our toenails clipped or painted, there's somebody that can do that. But in a lot of these places, there is 1, 2, or 3 major cities, and everything else is absolute rural farmland or desert or something of this nature, and they don't have the transportation to get there. So what these folks are doing is actually going to those locations with several buses, if you will, and medical supplies to take care of those folks, and they pitch a tent. I mean, I hate to say pitch a tent, but it's a large enclosed tent arena, and they service everything from dental to vision to you name it, if they have that person with that specialty. And they see all these folks for free. So that's a wonderful thing. I've come across a couple of doctors that do that on an annual basis. Just like recently, we've had, if you've watched television, we've had a few doctors from various parts of the states go to, um, you know, what is it? I was going to say Uganda, where they're having a war at
Yeah,
right now. I've
Ukraine.
heard it so
Ukraine.
much.
Yeah.
Ukraine, yes. They've gone to Ukraine to help out some of the folks there and the children. And those are wonderful things. They take a week or 2 or 3 off from work and they come back to work.
Hmm.
That's a beautiful thing. And I think we all should have, something similar to the Peace Corps, if you will, as like when I was growing up
Yeah,
anyway.
there you go. They still got it, but do they do what they do? I don't know.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
So now, insurance is one of the things you do, like you mentioned early on, that you make a fortune off of, instructing people how to do financing and.
Wait a minute, you said a fortune. I don't make a fortune. I've made other people's fortunes.
Well, I figured your commission would put you in the fortune category too, you know.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
but you do other things, and I know
absolutely.
I know you mentioned things like working with the county and other agencies. I don't know if you can mention those agencies or not.
I sure can. It's public knowledge, so I can. One of the things is currently I am the board treasurer, which means I sign off on checks, if you will, for a program here in Cook County called CETA. Um, and CETA is a program that we actually give a great deal of money to the food banks. We offer LIHEAP, which is low income heating, and we take care of that, whether it's your furnace or you need a windows or roofing or something of that nature. We pay for that. We pay for medical bills. We pay in the city of Chicago. We pay actually your water bill if you're behind on your water bill. We've got wonderful programs where we'll take care of dental. We'll take care of your car. We'll take care of your cell phone bill. We also are taking care of the WIC programs, Women and Infant Children. We do that program in Cook County, Illinois. And we are actually the largest program of its type in the United States. It's again, it's a program that if you need assistance, if you need care, if you need help, and there's nowhere else to turn, I would strongly encourage you to seek these services. We've got hundreds of millions of dollars, and I'll repeat that, hundreds of millions of dollars that we are issuing out in services every year that we just need people to apply. And one of the downfalls is that there's not enough people that are aware of these services, and I'm consciously working on that. And what I mean, I'll do a quick sidebar here, but you know, the same old people are getting the same old benefits. But what's changed in the last 2.5 years is COVID. So now you've got mom that just got laid off. 3 months later, dad gets laid off, and they've got 3 kids. They've never had to go anywhere for financial assistance, for medical assistance, for food insecurities, any of those things. So how do they find out how this stuff works? How do they find out where to go? That's who I'm trying. That's who I'm trying to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the folks that are in immediate need right now. And we've got a program that is looking after college
Mm.
students because that's a forgotten space as well. More and more college students, 14% of them are homeless.
Wow.
I'll repeat that. 14% nationally of college students are homeless,
Wow.
living in their cars and things of this nature while trying to get an education. So we're enacting a plan right now to attack some of that with, again, millions of dollars to help homeless or home insecure students continue their education. So if you don't know where to go, at least reach out and find out. So that's one thing that I do. The other thing that I do is I am a Cook County Housing Commissioner. So if you go to the Cook County website, you can look up commissioners, and there's Eric Slaughter there as well. And again, we look at everything from we administer the federal HUD program. We get a lot of money from the state and local governments for public housing. And literally this week, I've been doing tours of public housing facilities. And I lived in a public housing facility when I was a young man, a young kid, actually. So I get it. You never forget where you come from, right? But the difference is the disparities that I'm seeing from the Black and Brown community in public housing versus the North Shore, predominantly Anglo housing communities, and how nice one is versus the other.
Yes.
I just drove one yesterday, and I have an SUV, and I was doing 3 miles an hour down the road simply because every 2 feet was a very deep pothole.
Mm.
And you have to take dignity in where you live.
Right.
So that's one thing that I'm looking at bolstering. And there's again hundreds of millions of dollars allocated toward this. I want to make sure it goes the right places. So those are some of the things that I do. And again, I do this out of my heart.
And I want to say thank you. If nobody else says thank you, I want to say thank you. Thank you so very
You're
much,
absolutely a welcome.
for what you do and what you're doing. Um, you know, for those that are tuning in, this is a part two. We had some technical difficulties on part one, so we are recording it, and we will be posting this as a part two. I always ask two questions for my guests before they leave. The first question is, will you come back and see me again?
Oh, absolutely. I am always happy to share information. I feel that I have the canny ability to talk at a 30,000-foot level, and I have the ability to talk to the guys that empty the trash and work on Rochester carburetors out of their car.
All right
So
now.
I'm that guy. I'd be
All
happy
right.
to.
Well, thank you. The second question is, what would you like to leave with the people before you leave today?
Here's what I'd like to leave everyone with: food for thought. Help someone else, pull them up, pull up anyone that's less fortunate than you are. I think all too often, or I know all too often, we forget where we come from because we've made it in our mind. We've gotten to where we need to be, but we have to look at our younger generation. And I have to let you guys know, because I deal with seniors, and I'll use that word lightly, but seniors, I personally am terrified of what's coming. I see our kids and our kids' kids, and honestly, I hate to put a damper on things. It looks very dismal for us. We are users of items. We are not builders of anything anymore. And
Hmm.
our kids, I mean, every one of them got one or two iPhones, but they don't know how it
Mm.
works. So think about that. They don't know how to build it. They don't know how to use an algorithm to program it. But they want the latest $1,400 iPhone. They got to have it. Think about that. They would rather, and when I grew up, it was Encyclopedia Britannica. I went all over the world,
Yes.
Encyclopedia Britannica. Now we
Yes.
have kids with the entire world
At their
in the palm
fingertips.
of their hand.
Yes.
And what would they rather do? Watch videos of cats playing the piano.
Yeah. Video games.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Guys, come on.
Yeah.
Let's think
Yeah.
about it. Get kids outside and have them go find a leaf
There you
clover.
go.
Have them do
Yeah.
something. They need to stop using so much technology and use their hands. So that's what I would leave
All
you with.
right. Well, look, I thank you once again, man, for your time out of your busy schedule. Once again, this is a part two. We had technical difficulties on the live. So I didn't want to waste Eric's time. So we got the part two going. So we're going to post this very shortly on the air. You can find Eric's information right here,
Mhm.
www.ciregroup.com. Reach out to him, pick his brain, let him help you. Cause I ain't through messing with him. I'm gonna keep on getting on his nerves. I promise you I am, cause I need to know. So Eric, stay right
There's a
there. We're
lot
gonna
to it.
close the show out for today. I want to invite everyone to come out and join me on Facebook, at YouTube live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time at Street News Now. We have a great show, Six Guys and You. Please come out and check us out. We have a great bunch of guys, man, and we talk about anything under the sun. You don't want to miss it. Also, check me out on every Saturday, 12 noon Central Standard Time, from the desk of Dr. Ron. I tell you, I've been answering some very interesting questions on that show. You need to go over to my YouTube channel and check it out. Also, want to encourage people to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. Check out all of my advertisers. If you would like to make contributions and donations, this is the information to do it with. Please subscribe. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you all for paying attention to this show. Invaluable information. Please check it out. Share it. Send it around. Anybody that needs this information, please make sure they get it. Love and peace. See you guys on Thursday.